Hello students, how are you all? So, we are back on your favorite learning platform, Learn Forward, and we are going to study from Feathercap, People and Places. This is chapter number 12, How We Communicate. So, what is communicate? When we talk to each other, when we share messages, when we even share messages or receive messages, so that is basically communication. जब आप एक दूसरे से बात करते हो, कोई बात बताते हो या कोई बात सुनते भी हो, that is your part of communication. So, in this chapter, we are going to study different types of ways of communication, means of communication, that how can we communicate. Like in the olden times, when people used to live far away places, they used to communicate with the help of a pigeon. The pigeons were trained, उन्हें train किया जाता था pigeons को, and they were trained like this कि उनके मुंह में letters दिए जाते थे, and they had to basically go at the other place and send that letter, give that letter to the particular person. तो एक जगह से लेटर लेके दूसरी जगह जाना, इस तरह से pigeons used to deliver the letter. So now, as the time has developed, we have a lot of modern means of communication. Now in this chapter, we will study that only. We like to keep in touch with our friends and relatives living in another villages, cities, countries. So एक दूसरे से बात करने के लिए as we have a lot of friends and family जो कि अलग अलग जगह पे रहते हैं, it can be a village, city, country, so we keep in touch by them, by communicating with them with now, but it is not also possible to always possible to visit them. हर टाइम हम उनके पास नहीं जा सकते. So what do? We send and receive messages, we text them or we receive message from them. So this means used for sending messages or news to individuals or masses is known as means of communication. So means कोई भी ऐसा तरीका जिससे आप मैसेज भेजते हो या फिर किसी इंडिविजुअल को, और it can be masses, so that is known as means of communication. Now individual communication. Communication of a message to an individual is called individual communication. जब आप किसी एक इंसान से बात करते हो, that is your individual communication. We can send our message to our relatives, friends and business friends via letter, email, cellular phone or fax. So, if you want to send message to your friend or your relative or your business friend, you can do it by a letter. It can be, you can even send it by email, cellular phone or a fax. Now, letters are of three types. Three types of letter are there. First is your postcard, which looks like this. Second is your inland letter, which looks like this, and stamped envelope, which is your this. It has a stamp on the right side of the envelope. So you can purchase any of these from the post office. They must have proper stamps on them. So जिससे भी आप ये post office से जो कोई भी आप letter लोगे, so it will have a stamp on the letter. Now we must write the name and complete address on the letter in a clear handwriting. We must write the pin code also. So if you are writing a letter to a friend or to anyone, you have to mention some things which are very important so that it can reach a right place. So how do you write a address or the pin codes on a letter? It should be in this pattern only. First you should write the name. Second, the street or road, basically your address, and colony plus city, and last is your state, which state and the pin code of the particular state. So this is how you write the address of the addressee on the letter. Now after writing the letter, we post it. Letters are sent to other places by buses, trains and aeroplanes. So जब आप इस लेटर को पोस्ट करते हो पोस्ट ऑफिस में, they are then sent through the buses, trains and aeroplanes. Now we write to our friends and relatives. We get letters from them. It is fun to write and get letters. The postman brings us letters. हम letters अपने friends को भेजते भी हैं और उनसे हम receive भी करते हैं. So it is a fun basically to get letters and write letters. And the postman is the one who brings us the letters. Now letters take 2 to 3 days to reach the addressee. So 2 से 3 दिन लगते हैं and to reach the person. Now for far off places it takes more time, और जगह अगर ज़्यादा दूर है so it will take more time. Now urgent letters can be sent through speed post or by the courier mail. So if you want to write any urgent letter, so you can send it by the speed post or courier mail. Now these services take less time to reach any city of our country. So इस letter को पहुंचने में ज़्यादा time नहीं लगेगा. To send or receive the messages immediately, we talk on the telephone or the person. to the person concerned. So अगर आपको किसी particular इंसान से immediately message exchange करना है, what do we do? The first thing, we use our phones. We use our mobile phones to connect with the person. Now through a fax you can send a written message as such photocopied to other places. So fax से कैसे मैसेज निकलता है, जैसे हम फोटो कॉपी कराते हैं, जो चीज वो लिखेंगे वहां पे वो चीज दूसरे इंसान के पास एज इट इज उसी वे में वहां रिसीव हो जाएगी, जैसे फोटो कॉपी करी हो. इट्स फोटोकॉपी रीचेस इन फ्यू सेकेंड्स. सो कुछ ही सेकेंड्स में दूसरी तरफ भी ये मैसेज पहुंच जाता है. Telephones are connected by wires to distant places. Nowadays, wireless cellular phones are used to talk. So, in the earlier times, telephones were used which were connected by wires, but today we have cellular phones which does not have wires. So, they are basically wireless cellular phones which we use to talk. Now, mass communication. This was about your individual communication or personal communication when you personally communicate with another person. Now, what is mass communication? You can understand by the name mass. मतलब बहुत लोगों से एक बारी में communicate करना. Sometimes we need to communicate with a large number of people at the same time. So एक ही time पे हम चाहते हैं कि हम बहुत सारे लोगों से communicate करें. Communication of a message or news to masses is called mass communication. So when we communicate a message to the masses, this is known as the mass communication. Now, messages, news or information can be delivered to many persons at the same time through a newspaper. So, सबके यहाँ newspaper आता है. We get a lot of news about the country, about the world as well, about our city, state, any news you will find in the newspaper. So, अगर कोई भी message, news या information हमें एक बहुत ज़्यादा mass में deliver करनी है, so newspaper is your best option. The news reaches the people in all parts of the country in just one day. So it just take a day to reach the news to any part of the country. Any news broadcast through a radio or television reaches the people immediately. So कोई भी news जो television या radio से broadcast की जाएगी, it will reach the people immediately. On a radio we hear only voice. On a television we hear the news and see the live event on the screen. So what is the difference between radio and the television? On radio we only hear voices, and in the television we also get the vision. Basically we also get the screen to see the live event. Now television has now become very popular means of communication and recreation. So television जो है basically ये एक आज के time पे बहुत popular means of communication and recreation. We hear and watch variety of programs of music, dance, drama, news, sports and business on television. So you will get the all category of news or dramas or entertainment on the television. The programs are telecast through satellite all over the world at the same time. So उस same time पे हर जगह पे वो program जो है particular broadcast किया जाता है. Now, internet and email. Computers and internet have made communication much faster and efficient. So computer और internet की वजह से जो communication है बहुत ज़्यादा faster हो गई है और efficient हो गई है. If you have a computer, you can log on to the internet and send emails instantly. So if you have an internet connection and if you have a computer, you can send an email very immediately or instantly to anyone. You can get information about anything you want to know through the internet in a short time. So if you want to know about anything, you can just Google it or you can search it anywhere, you will get your answer. You can also send videos, pictures, letters and books from one computer to another through internet. So आप videos, pictures और letters या books कुछ भी share कर सकते हो through computer as it is possible through the internet. All the latest means of communication have brought the world closer and helped to connect better. So these latest means of communication have brought the world closer. इससे सब चीजें आपको कुछ नहीं लगता, मतलब you can get news of any place in just seconds. It has helped the people to connect better. Now, e-readers and gadgets on which we can read books. One can download book from the net. These books can be read on an e-reader. So आज के टाइम पे you also have e-books. E-books में आप क्या कर सकते हो? Online book download करके you can read it on your device only. So this has made computer and internet has made this thing also possible. Now classroom activity, circle the odd one out in each set. First, speed post, letter, courier, radio. So speed post, letter and courier are basically posted, इनको भेजा जाता है, and radio is your mass communication. This is your all your in personal communication. Second, mobile phone, newspaper, telephone, and fax machine. So these are means of your fax machine, newspaper, telephone, and mobile phone. So except newspaper, all these are your individual communication. Now email, internet, pencil, computer. So pencil basically is your odd one out. Fourth, eraser, television, newspaper, and radio. So these are all your mass communication means, and this is your a stationary item. Now assess yourself first. Take the correct answer first. We can talk to a person on a telephone. A written message is sent as such photocopied through a written message, which is just like a photocopy. It is sent through a fax. The programs are telecast all over the world through satellite. Now, which of these does not belong to the mass communication? So, telephone is not a part of a mass communication. The pin code consists of, 6 digits. Now, fill in the blanks, choose the correct word from the bracket. First, in olden days, dash were used to send messages. So, in olden days, pigeons were used to send messages. Second, pin code number has dash digits, so it has 6 digits. The message to be sent by fax should be brief or detailed, so it should be detailed. Now you can talk to a person by dash, we can talk to a person by telephone. A dash is used to send email, a computer is used to send email. Telephone is the dash means of communication. Telephone is the fastest means of communication. Now, true, false. Long ago, trained pigeons delivered letters, so that is true. Letters reach faster than emails. No, this is false. We can send emails instantly and letters take 2 to 3 days to reach the person. Television is the most popular mass media in our country. Yes, that is right. Fax machines can be used to send written messages instantly. Yes, that is also right. Now, list the following in individual or mass communication. We have to divide these 6 means of communication into individual and mass. Now, what are individual? Letter is an individual means of communication. Television is your mass communication. Now, fax is your individual communication. Radio, newspaper is your mass communication. Radio is again your mass communication. And telephone, last is your telephone is your individual communication. Now, answer the following questions. First, what are the means of communication called? So, means used for sending messages or news to individuals or masses are called means of communication. This is your first point, and you can write the 2 types of communication are individual communication and mass communication. So this is your answer number 1. Now question number 2, what is mass communication? So when you share or receive news, communication of message or news to masses is known as mass communication. So this is your second answer. Now third question. Which is the cheapest means of communication? So the letters which we sent are basically the cheapest means of communication, or you can even write the emails as we send it online. So they are also the cheapest means of communication. Now how will you send a message to a friend? So we can send it through a letter, or we can send it through the email, and we can also use the telephone to share the message. So these are the some means by which you can message to a friend. How will you write to somebody living in other village or cities? So we can write through by using the letters. It can be your post letter, inland letter. So basically there are 3 kind of letters which we have studied. The letters are postcard, inland, and stamped envelope. So you can take the any letter and you can write it to your friend by using this pattern of address. Now, what kind of programs are telecasted through television? So, television has now become the popular means. Now we hear and watch a variety of programs of music, dance, drama, news, sports and business on television. So these are some things which we get to see on the television. This is your answer for it. That is your question number 6. Now 7. What has made communicating through computers possible? So internet has made communicating through computers possible. Okay, so answer is internet. Now name 2 modern means of communication. So 2 modern means of communication are your emails, which you can send through internet, or anything. We can also say the wireless mobile phones, cellular phones. These have made the communication very easy for us. Now we have completed the chapter. I hope you have understood it well. Thank you so much. Happy learning.